All right, hello, it's Kiki Strickland, the Matchmaker and Dating Coach again. Today I am talking about kings in the midst of jokers. Now, jokers comes from First Baptist Church of Glenarden. Pastor Jenkins is always calling people jokers. That joker this and that joker that. And I like that because I don't want to say jerk. I mean, you have all kinds of men these days. You know, you got clowns. You have devils, which I that would be it. Someone who is involved in demonic activity to me. You have youngins. They're just young. They might end up being kings later in life. They're just kind of, silly and not mature yet. They're immature at this time, but they're growing, so they may end up becoming a king. But what I want to talk about today are the kings. What makes a man a king? This is for the ladies and the men, because I know that men are watching my channel too. And I feel bad sometimes because I'm always speaking to the ladies. So this one is for both. So what is a king? Most men are not kings. Most men, ladies, are not worthy of you. But there are a few kings out there. Those are the men that you are looking for. And what kind of qualities do kings have? So to me, a king is a man who is confident. He's not arrogant. He's quietly confident. So he's not bragging about things or always talking about himself, but he is making moves. So he actually does have things to brag about. He just doesn't brag. He might tell you some of the things. He might give a praise report on something good that happened, but he's not trying to make himself look larger than life or better than anybody. So he makes his moves quietly. He's got things together. He's a builder. I've heard other churches use the term builder instead of tearing people down. He's a builder. He treats women well. He's a good dad, a good father. And what does it mean to be a good father? Some people don't know. A good father is in his child's life and providing for the child, not just financially, but emotional support. That includes attending sports events if the child is in a sport, or maybe ballet or piano, whatever your child is in, you should be attending their events. That is providing emotional support to them. So besides spending time with them when you have them, as far as custody, a good dad is not just a provider, but also there for the child. The child should be able to talk to you. Okay. I could do a whole separate video on good dads. But back to being a king. A king also has a stable work history. We don't like it when we see a man jumping from job to job to jobs. Like, what's going on in your head, in your mind? Usually there are some issues there, whether it be depression, and that's why you can't hold on to a job, whether it's not being able to take authority. Some people just don't want to be told what to do by certain people, so they won't stay. They'll leave a job at the drop of a hat. That doesn't look stable to us, and that is not what a king does. I'm not saying you have to have been at the same job for 30 years, like some people have done in the past, and we're not seeing that as much in 2022. But we do have to see that you have been able to hold a job for a long period of time. A king is a good worker and has a good work ethic. So even if he's an entrepreneur, he's been in that field for a while. So usually, again, when we're seeing job hopping, there's usually some other issues going on with the person. Unless it's, if it's promotion to promotion, awesome. A king also seeks to deal with his issues. So if he did have issues with depression, use that example, he's in counseling for it. He's talking to a therapist. He's actually seeking to get better. So he doesn't have to be totally clear of any kind of issue, but the issues that he does have, he's working on them. Therapy or counseling, or at least being accountable to a group of other men. Some men try to grow spiritually through attending their Bible study, or being in a life group or a small group at their church. So all of that is helpful. And we see that when we see you doing those things, then we see that you are trying to grow and to better yourself spiritually, which is a great thing. We love that. Also, praying, spending time with the Lord. We love to see some type of service at your church, because that means that you're committed, that you are humble, and that you have a servant's heart. Marriage is really serving one another. So any example that we can see of you serving is going to be a plus. To me, also, a king does not use profanity. You don't hear him calling women bees or using the N-word. You don't see him sleeping around. He treats people, especially women, with respect. And so as far as a relationship goes, he has totally closed out one before he's trying to enter into another relationship. So he doesn't do messy. He's not trying to see multiple women at the same time. He's very respectful. He will end things with one before he tries to start things with another. That is very important as we are watching you in your relationships. So that means you're dating sensibly. You're not hopping around, you're not playing with women's emotions. So these are the decent guys. A king also is very helpful, and he keeps his word. So if he says he's going to do something, you can count on him to do that thing. Even if it turns out he can't do it, he's going to at least find someone else to step in and get it handled. So he is a man of his word. Those are just a few traits of a king in the midst of all these jokers out there. So ladies, this is what you're looking for. You're looking for a king, and they do exist. And if they're not in your age bracket, your age range, then you might want to look at some older men. And hopefully you can find a couple of them in that age range. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. But anyway, thanks for listening. This has been Kiki Strickland, the Matchmaker and Dating Coach. Happy dating.